Hello gamers, it's SoftKitty99 and today we're in the Minecraft Creative Builds world. We recently finished our shopping mall, which is this building here, and we did all of the interiors for the shops. Then in the last episode we went over to our little beach resort and built a rainbow beach house, which you can see just here. So today I thought we would build a big rainbow mansion. Of course, if you don't want a rainbow mansion, you can build this house in just one colour for yourselves rather than multicoloured like I'm going to. For this, I'm going to be using concrete and we're going to be using the rainbow. I'm not going to subject you to my singing the rainbow song, so we've got red, yellow, pink, lime for the green, orange, purple and light blue for the blue, and these are all concrete blocks. And as I said, you could just pick one colour to make your whole house out of it, or you can follow along with the bright rainbow house. I'm hoping that this build is going to make you feel really cheerful just by looking at it. So the other materials we will need a little bit later on are polished granite slab, end rod, dried kelp block, polished granite stairs, birch fence and red nether brick stairs, and we will need some glass of course later on too, and some doors and probably some other things, but these are the main items that I think we're going to need. And of course you can substitute any other type of stair or fence or colour to build the house out of if you don't like the colours that I've chosen. So I'm going to move away from the road a little bit. I'm going to go back by 6 blocks, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 gaps before we start building. I'm going to start with the red concrete and make a row of 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this is now going to be the back of the house, and in my build you're going to have a great view of the ocean, so this is going to be a great place to sit out in the garden. And by the road of course is going to be the front of my building. I want the side wall, this is going to be the side wall, I want this wall to be 13 blocks in total in height, including this first one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then we want to fill this whole wall in to be a solid end wall for the build. So I'm going to go across and up so that we've got the edges defined, and then you just fill it in. So I think if I look at the, what's this block called? It's red concrete, so we'll just use the fill command to make this a little bit quicker. So fill, pick up the coordinates of our block, go down to the bottom corner, get those coordinates, and then we want the red concrete. So that's our end wall. So it's 15 in length and 13 tall. And then continuing with the red, we're going to put in 1, 2, 3 more. So that's 4 width of the red concrete. So we've got the end wall, and then the front wall is going to continue an extra 3 blocks. And then we want to fill this in all the way up to the top on this front wall, and we'll add windows and things later. It's just simpler to knock the blocks out again later when we need to do that. And then on the back we'll do the same. We add an extra 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, so that we've got 4 in total of each colour. And then we fill that in top to bottom. So that we're getting our very bright and cheerful house, and it's again right on the beach because of the location that I have for my particular build. And I think I've just missed a block there. There we go. So next we now move to the yellow concrete, and we want to add 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then of course fill in at the back and at the front. So add 4 on the front, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think you can guess what we're going to do. Next we'll go to the pink and add another 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 at the front and at the back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we move to the lime. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the orange. 1, 2, 3, 4. And at the back, 1, 2. Let's float a little bit, I think. 3, 4. Swap to the purple. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the front, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then finally the blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then of course this one goes all along the edge, because this is your side wall, all the way to the back, and then you join up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 2 should meet. And then of course you're going to want to raise all of these side blocks up to the height of 13, like we already have done with our red. So we just keep building the walls up until we have done all of that, and then we'll have this big rectangular structure basically prepared for turning into our beautiful, beautiful little house. Though it's probably not that little. But it's going to be very bright and very, very beautiful. So I think you're starting to get the idea of what we're building up, and I will finish off building up the walls off camera. So I've now swapped to my other pieces of building material. So now I've got polished granite slab, end rod, dried kelp block, polished granite stairs, birch fence, red nether brick stairs, and grey stained glass pane. You can of course use any colour of glass that you want yourself for your space, and we will also need a door, and again you can use whichever door you personally would like to use. I think that I will use the big fancy dark oak birch. I'm going to use the birch door. Oh, put that in place of my glass. Here we are. So here is the build as I've built it up. You can see the bright stripes. It is a very, very colourful, bright build, and hopefully it makes you happy to just look at it. So that's what we've got now, a big rectangular structure. On the front of the house, I'm going to first grab the dried kelp block to use this for building a porch area on the house. So what I want to do is come one block away from the edge and just put a row of the dried kelp blocks, because I just think this looks like quite a nice outdoor tiled style of area, so that you could just wipe it down quite quickly and clean it very easily. So go all the way along the edge of the house and stop one block before the edge, then put in a second row. And again stop just one before the edge and then put in a third row. So that's 3 rows all the way across the house to make a nice big porch to give you lots of space for sitting on and relaxing on and just having a lot of fun. Now round the edges of this I want to use the polished granite stairs, and I'm going to tip them so they're upside down like this, so that you've got that little indent to make it look like the top is wider than the bottom, and that just kind of finishes the edge off and makes it look really nice. So you can of course think about the sides. Do you want space to go down to be able to walk down the back of the house, or are you happy to just only use this as a front space? So see, if you want space for stairs to come down and go around the house, then put the middle block so that it is actually a step, and then just keep going around. Now the centre of course is going to be where the door's going to be, and that of course is going to be where we're going to put the stairs in again, but we'll look for where to put that in just a minute. So again, if you want space to walk, put in a step to get down to be able to walk around the house. Now the centre of the house, we've used 7 colours, so you'll have 3 colours, red, yellow, pink on one side, and 3 colours, blue, purple and orange on the other, so that the centre block is the green. So if you come to this, we've got 4 wide, so the 2 in the middle knock out 2, so that we've got a double door, and then you've still got the edging for coming in and out of the house. Now I'm going in the bottom here to take out those bottom 2 stairs and pop the dried kelp blocks in again to go underneath the door. Now I'm going to indent the door, so I will need to go inside the building in order to put the doors in, and just make sure that you've got them so that the hinges are on the outside edge and the doors are on the front edge, like so. So that now is my front entrance to my build, and it's indented, so I just think it looks nicer if it's indented, hence why we want the kelp blocks here to keep them in the same style as the front. So now what you want to do is see exactly where the door is and knock out these 2 blocks, then go back to the polished granite stairs, and this time put them in the right way up, and then in front of this, to come to wherever your path is, knock them out, and then I'm just going to use the slab to make a little walkway to the actual road. Now my house is quite close to the road because I'm not going to put a big garden in the front, because I've got that beautiful view of the ocean in the back of my house. You can of course offset the house a little bit further back from the road to give you more space, and of course decorate it with a few flowers and things along the front, which we might do later or we might not. We'll think about that later. Now where the door is, I want to use the slab on the 2 outside edges, and I want to use the upside down stair in the middle to make it look like it's shaped. And then I want to use the end rod on this as support structure. So if you put one down and one up, it actually joins in the middle to make it look like a rod, and I think that white is quite pretty. It also gives off a little bit of light in the dark as well, so it's a little bit of a different way of doing things. If you don't like this glowing that it does, then of course you can use the birch fence instead. So that's the basic structure for what we're going to have for the porch at the front. So now grab your birch fence, and you're going to want to run the fencing all the way around the edge, and of course leaving gaps for wherever you have placed the stairs going down. You might only have them where the front door is, or you might have them on one or both ends of the house, depending on the surrounding terrain that you've got and how you're going to want to utilise it later. Now you're saying, Kitty, what are you doing with this building interior? What I want to do now is go inside and show you where I want to put the floors. We're not going to fill the whole of the interior in this episode. I think I'll do that as a separate video, and then you can either come back and look at the interior that I build, or you can build your own. So the ground floor of course is going to just fill this interior space in, because that's where the height of the door is. So the actual interior, you just build it on the flat ground that you've started in, and then we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks tall, so that you've got a gap of 5, and then on the 6th one you add your next floor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 between the floors, and then you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again, and then you should be able to have another roof in there, so that we've got 2 floors. So you've got your ground floor, your first floor, and then you can put a ceiling in as well here before we get to where the roof is. So that's how we're going to put the floors. So each floor is 5 blocks tall, so you've got 2 lots of 5, so that's 10 tall, and then you've got space for 3 floors and ceilings, so that makes it 13 in total. I hope that makes sense. So we've got 5 plus 5 plus 3 for where your floors and ceilings go. That's why it's 13 tall. And then on the exterior of the building, we're going to want to put on our roof. I'd like to start with the polished granite stairs for the edging of the roof. I want to go straight across the build with this polished granite and go 1 block longer than the edge of the building. So just go all the way along, flat, straight. Very simple, straight up, straight down sort of ceiling is what I'm thinking of here. So we go along the edge here, like so, like that, and 1 further. And then of course you want to go upside down, on top, upside down, on top, and we keep doing that. And then of course on the back we do exactly the same, and then the 2 keep going up until we meet in the middle. So right along the top row of the house, all the way along, all the way to the end, 1 further across the end, and then we're going to keep rotating the 2 and building them up until they meet in the middle. On top, rotate, on top, rotate. This could be quite a long job, couldn't it, to fill this in, but we will just keep going. So we just keep going. Of course there's going to be quite a lot of space in this roof space, so you could always put an attic, loft extension, extra bedrooms, that sort of thing in. And if we are making it into like a mansion, you could even, if you want, have a living maid or housekeeper or something, or you could make it space for the children, so the children have bedrooms in the attic, or maybe a games room for the family, whatever you want in the roof space, because I think we're going to have quite a lot of roof space. Or an office, or more bedrooms, or whatever, or gym equipment. Not quite sure how you build gym equipment in Minecraft actually though. It would be a bit of a toughie, I think. And there we are, we've nearly met in the middle. There we go. Right, so we're at the very top, put an upside down stair there, and an upside down stair there, like so, just to finish off the edge. And we will of course do that on the opposite side as well. And then I'm going to use the red nether brick because I very rarely use it, and I'm going to use this to fill in all the way across for all the rest of the roofing for this build. And then we're just going to keep filling that in until we get all the way to the top of the house. And there we've got most of the basic structure for the building. Once that's done, of course we'll need to add windows and more decoration on the outside, and I think we might put a balcony in for upstairs, and we might try and combine the balcony for the upstairs into the roof for the porch on the lower level. In fact, we might put a porch the entire length of the top of the house and make the 2 a big feature of the building. I think that would be particularly nice on the back of the house because you've got all that extra beautiful views, haven't you? So that might be nice around the back. So on the front we might just put a porch on the lower end, and then on the back maybe we'll put a a big walkway along the entirety of the upper level as well. That might be quite nice to make it a little bit of a different build, won't it? So I think that's what we will probably be doing. So if we just keep going across here now to the edge of that one, and that I think is what we will be doing in the next episode. Otherwise this is going to become really, really long. So I'm just going to keep adding to the roof. Oops, that didn't quite fit all the way along, so let's just add another couple here to the... So there you've got the basic idea of how the structure is going to build. And then of course here, where we've got all this open space, you will of course need to go back to the red concrete and then just fill in the empty space here, and on the opposite side we will of course use the light blue concrete to fill that in as well. I'm just going to continue filling that in until we get to the top, and then this very top section I'm just going to use the polished granite slab just to fill in the very top of the roof all the way across like so. And that is the basic outside structure of the house built in the first episode. And then we'll come in and we will do all the windows and the balconies and things in the next episode. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. From Soft Kitty 99, goodbye and happy gaming!